All right, last spot. My wife's got oatmeal raisin cookies as long as I finish this in time. So yeah, I'm finishing this one quick. Here we go. Athabasca oil sands up in Canada. They're expensive to get oil from. So if you look these up, Athabasca oil sands. Yeah, let's go look that up for a picture. Right here. Off in Alberta, way up north. They're up in the boreal forest over here, and like they got this stuff called muskeg, which is almost like peat. Anyway, which is like biodecomposing. So as you can see, it kind of like destroy the land a little bit there as they're pulling stuff up. Yeah. Um, yeah, like that. All right. So let's go. They're expensive to get oil from. So really they only really work if like the price of oil is high. They're an open pit mine, so that means they're basically like they go along the earth, and then as soon as they find it, they're like and they dig down and they just get as much as they can. Um, and then the leftover hole, they basically use their wastewater, and they kind of that's where they dump it. It's like wastewater pit. Destroys boreal forest and muskeg, which is peat-like, and so as a result, is that releases quite a bit of carbon off in the atmosphere. I will say this: the companies do tend to replant trees or pasture land at least, but it still doesn't really replace kind of destruction to the environment. Uses a lot of water, which is left in waste ponds. So you know how we talked about strip mines up here, like open pit mines? Well, that open pit, they got now a spot to put their wastewater. So just dump it on in there. Um, so yeah, that's it for. And then basically what they try to do is like this is up in Canada, and then they sell this oil. They send it via pipeline down to us in the United States, where we buy it. So yeah, because when oil prices are high, that's usually a way of keeping it low. It's the way we get our cars and all that, and keep them moving. All right, biofuels. This is where you use like biodiesel, which your first diesel engine, by the way, wasn't meant to run on diesel fuel. It was meant to run on vegetable oil. And so this farmer had this idea where the tractor goes along right over, I think it was peanut fields. And as it was, working on a peanut field, the peanuts would grow. And then it used the peanut oil to basically fuel the tractor. So it would be kind of this never ending circle. The only problem is diesel fuel became cheaper than peanut oil, so the tractor started using more diesel fuel. You can so that's one form of biofuel is biodiesel. Another one is ethanol. So ethanol, I'll put a picture in the slide after this. When you go buy gasoline, and like the majority of your gas stations right now in the United States, it's 10% ethanol. What that is in Brazil they use sugar cane. They basically ferment it. It's like the same as if you were a distillery or like a brewery making beer. So you produce this alcohol from sugarcane. Here in the United States, we got tons of corn. So we use corn, and that's what we get our alcohol from. And then what you do is once you have your alcohol, you put that into your gasoline source. We use 10% here in the United States. In Brazil, they use a lot more for their engines. Um, Using plant oils or alcohols instead of along with regular fuel. This is carbon neutral in theory because you could just, hey, as your car or tractor or whatever is burning this biofuel or alcohol and it's going off into the environment, you're actually then recycling it because like your plants are regrowing and that's what you're burning. So it's this never ending cycle. In theory, in reality, not as much. We tend to burn more than we actually produce. Um, it takes up energy to make energy this way. Like the corn doesn't just like naturally form, you know, alcohol. There's a few steps we have to do to make it to really help it push it along to make that happen. It takes up cropland. So if we start using all of our cropland to make corn, guess what happens to the price of your Doritos, which are corn, or Fritos, or even Takis? the cost goes up. Deforestation. So we start having to, cut down more forest to start growing more crops. And those are just different things that can happen with biofuels and problems with them. So that we currently face. All right. If you want, look at next slide. My best.